Hi, everyone. Welcome to our One World Energy Encounter with the Zohar. We are on the eve of the holiday of Sukkot starts tonight. So we're going to connect with the Zohar for Sukkot. There are several, but the one we're going to be with is in Pinchas. It's volume 21, and it's verse 814. So let's invite in the lineage of the Rav and Karen Michael, Rabbi Shlag, Rabbi Brandwein, the Uriah Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rav Mazulai, Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Vitebsk, Rav Kolona Shapira Piasetzna, the Baal Shem Tov, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, and all the students, Rav Mordechai of Chernobyl, one soul with Yosef Tzaddik, Joseph the Righteous in Shechem. Also, today is the anniversary of elevation of Rav Israel Hopstein, the Maggid of Koznitz. So we have his assistance today. As we connect to these verses, let's have a consciousness of no matter where in the world we are, we're all connected. And as we connect to these verses of the Zohar, we want to have a consciousness of connecting to the level of Binah, the reservoir of fulfillment, any lack we have in our lives, any lack that exists in the lives of those that we know. We want to have a consciousness of channeling the energy from that world of fulfillment, that upper realm, that flawless universe, and bring that down to our world. So it's very appropriate for us to think about those who are in need of healing. Let's send them energy of healing. Those souls that we know are transitioning, let's also send them energy of comfort and elevation on their transition. Chaim Meir ben Alta Abraham. Let's also connect to the energy of Ahavat Chinam, unconditional love, treating everyone with human decency, and also the energy of protection from negativity, removing negativity from our world, and protection from evil eye and evil speech. Okay, verse 814. Does anyone want to volunteer to read English for us today? Thank you, Ellen. Okay, do you know where we are?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so again, we are connecting to the Aramaic letters, and as we connect to them, we want to have a consciousness of opening up those channels to the upper realm. Now, before I actually read the Zohar, tonight is the holiday of Sukkot. You can be in a sukkah today, you can build a sukkah today, but the reality is that until candle lighting, it's just a hut. But at the moment of candle lighting, at the moment that the holiday begins, it transforms into a metaphysical portal, channeling energy from the upper realm. And specifically the Sukkah, when we're in it, we're connecting to our inner light. The Sukkah surrounds us, and in that sense, we're connecting to our surrounding light. And the most important part of it is what's called the schach, it's the roof. Because we are receiving energy protection. The children of Israel were surrounded by the energy of protection of the Creator when they left Egypt and they went to the land of Israel. Well, what's that have to do with us? Well, we are also in exile. We're not in a desert physically. Spiritually, arguably, we are. Like, we have to make those efforts to rise above the influence of this illusion that we call life on planet Earth. It's an illusion. It's not real. It's like, it's like being on a Hollywood set, and it's like all these false buildings around. You go behind them, there's nothing there. Here, you go behind them, there's that hidden reality. And so we want to connect to that hidden reality, metaphysically connect to that realm, that flawless universe. And Sukkot represents a unique opportunity to connect with that upper realm. It is a window in time where those connections are easier to make than any other time. And also falling at the time that they do after the beginning of the new year, after Rosh Hashanah, after Yom Kippur. It's like whatever our movie for the year has been shot. We're still in the edit phase. We can still make edits. So we have this opportunity to do that. And one of the most important things to do is to connect to happiness. This is there are many, we're happy all the time, but this is an opportunity to connect to a deeper level of unconditional happiness for the year ahead. So when you're in the Sukkah, you don't want to be thinking about anything negative. We certainly don't want to be having negative conversations. We only want to connect to positivity, to joy, and unconditional love. That's it. The rest takes care of itself. But to deepen that connection, let's dive into the Zohar. So we're not in the Sukkah yet, but as we connect to these verses, we are in the Sukkah. Also, midday is the next 20 minutes or so. So we will have also the energy of Shabbat coming in, as we do pretty much every Friday. We get together and study Zohar. And so the energy of Shabbat will, during this class, already begin to infuse our realm. And so we want to have a conscience open to that. So tonight, not only is it Sukkot tonight, but it's also the energy of Shabbat. And it's like, Sukkot on steroids. Yes, Peter.
I was just going to say, to your point, is that in Israel and other places, they've already entered into.
Yes, they have.
So we're all there.
Yes. We have that ability to connect also. There are all, countless ways to connect, but it starts with consciousness. Like we have to have a mindset that's open to connecting in this way. That's why consciousness is everything. Verse 8:14. Tishrei mikra kodesh yelechem kol melechet avodah lo tasu v'chagotem otam chag laHashem shivat yamim. I'm on the third line. V'gomer v'chamisha asar misitra de ka v'chagotem oto da ot vav amud adam tzaita shivat yamim misitra devat sheva di'i malchut avahan v'raya mehamana ve'aron David Shlomo hai inun sheva lekabel sheva sviran. Ana be'ena letakna lechon sukkah di'ihi ima ila'a lesakcha alahu ke'ima al benin. So before we just get into the English, just something to think about in terms of consciousness, which is that one of the things that Kabbalistically we get into is the numerical value of letters that behind the words. So like the numerical value of Sukkah, what is the significance of it? We're going to get into that, but consider that there are no accidents. Frankly, anywhere in your life, there are no accidents. Everything that's happening for you is coming to you from the light. Everything's happened to me is coming to me from the light. We have situations to deal with. I can't believe this. Well, it's coming from the light. So the deeper reality is that everything we encounter is there to help us. Even when it doesn't look like it is. At some level, it is helping us. It's helping us get to our next level. It's helping us to expand our vessel. It's helping us to channel more light into the world. It's helping us to become closer to, more aware of what it means to even have a relationship with the Creator. Like, what does even that mean? So all the things that happen are geared to assisting us in that way. So when we look at the numerical value of words, we're delving deeper into the energy. Then the numerical value is a tell. It's telling us about the energy that we're connecting to. Okay, with that, Ellen, if you could read the English for 8:14.
And on the 15th day of the 7th month, which is Tishrei, you shall have a holy gathering. You shall do no servile work, and you shall keep a feast to Hashem for 7 days.
Okay, so that 15th day of Tishrei, that's tonight. Now we know the significance of the 15th day, since it's a lunar calendar. Oh my God, there'll be a full moon tonight. How great that the Creator set us up with supernal light to shine through our sukkah. Was that it? No. Was it? I mean, it's a great perk. That's not it. The moon is part of the spiritual dashboard. We have full-on Tishrei this night, I mean. We have the full impact of Libra tonight. The moon is full, and whatever energy is available to this month is full on tonight. That's why this is the night the holidays starts. Not because it worked out good for the calendar. The calendar worked out for this. Jerusalem isn't holy because the temple was built there. The temple was built there because Jerusalem is holy. Tonight isn't Sukkot because there's a full moon and we need extra light outside. That's not what it's about. Tonight is Sukkot because that's the energy, and the moon is letting us know. This is full on Libra tonight, full on Tishrei. And what do we know about the channel that's there for us tonight, this window in time? Well, we're instructed, it's a holy gathering. We should do no servile work, whatever that means. And we shall keep a feast to the Creator for 7 days. So it's a lot of information. Why? What is the deal? What's the significance of all this? What are we talking about here? Okay. I mean, it's like we're just going camping. You know, when I was a kid, I was taught that we sit in these huts because that's what the children of Israel did when they left Egypt. What's that got to do with us? That's just a surface story. That's not the deeper meaning. It's not and it's certainly not the deeper significance as to what's available for us today. So we need to unpack that. And with the help of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and the Zohar, we're going to do that. Okay, Ellen, keep going.
On the 15th day means from the side of Yud K, namely Chokhmah and Binah.
Okay, so the first thing the Zohar is telling us is it's the 15th day. That's 1-5. That's Yud and K of the Tetragrammaton, of the Yud K Vav K. And the Yud K Vav K specifically, and we call it the name of God, Hashem, the name. But the Yud K Vav K is more than a name. The Yud K Vav K is a microcosm of reality. It's the energy of our entire reality in 4 letters. The Yud is Chokhmah, the K is Binah, the Vav is Zeir Anpin, and the final K is Malchut, our realm. So literally the letters connect us to this superstructure of reality. Peter, I see your hands up.
I just, as is my nature, I wish I looked up the word servile, really different than I thought. It
Well,
actually,
what's it say? Please.
Over befitting a menial position, meaning a cravenly submissive position, slave. So it's actually not, I thought it was in service. It's actually saying not to do any willing, showing an excessive willingness to serve or please others or be a slave.
Okay, so interesting, right? Hang on a second. Kol malechet avodah lo tasu. So the actual Hebrew is malechet avodah, you shouldn't do. What is malechet avodah? Avodah is word. What's work? La'avod, to work, avodah. What is malechet? Well, the root of malechet is malchut. It's mundane. It's doing things of a mundane nature, doing things that we do the other 6 days of the week. That we shouldn't be doing. And there are people that don't go to work for the whole holiday. Don't do any work. They just hang out in the sukkah the whole week. Or my sukkah has Wi-Fi, I'm just saying. They just hang out in the sukkah all week long.
Like camping.
So, what's that?
It's like camping.
It's like
Like a staycation.
It's like a staycation. So, like, why would that be? Because when we're doing that kind of work, it's a different consciousness. You know, one day I was sitting, a couple of months ago, I was sitting down doing my morning connection, and I saw my phone next to me, and I'm like, I got to check to see my messages. I mean, that's not an unusual thing to do, to check your messages. And then I'm like, there's another voice went out off of my head and said, you think those messages are important? You know what's really important? You know what's really important? When you're doing your connection, those messages that you get, that's what's really important. Those other messages are not important. It's part of the illusion. Yes, but my accountant wants me to file my not important. That's servile work. So it's the difference between what's mundane and what's supernal. What is connectedness to the upper realm? That's really what is an important distinction. And that's a consciousness thing. So we need to be conscious about the messages we're getting during this time of year. And if we're so wrapped up in our work, it's a distraction. So like you can do it, but like, we might miss an important text from the creator. That's the thing. It goes to the level of connection we're able to make. Now we're all gonna have to strike it. We're all gonna do what we can do. And that's fine. We want to start off understanding though that it is a very special window in time. And we want to make the best of it. So I'm going to try and spend as much time in my sukkah as possible, which is why I put a sukkah up on my balcony in my apartment. So I can spend as much time there. I want to show you a picture of it. That's it.
Oh, you got the roof on. It's cool.
Of course I got the roof on it. It's 5 stories up. And by the way, in this case, this wall is one of the walls, and the back railing there is the second wall.
Nice.
You need 3. There's a trick as to how I'm doing a third, because it's 5 stories up, and I don't want anything catching wind. Even though
That is so cute.
thank you, you're all welcome. Anytime you want to drop by, even though it's like tied down with plastic, ties, it's very windy. It can get very windy up there.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I want to spend as much time in a sukkah as possible, because it's like this big, it's a portal. It's an energy portal that you could set up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not anywhere. If I had a balcony above me, I would not be able to set it up. That would disturb the metaphysical construct. It can only be a certain height. It has to have a specific type of roofing. It's all got to be somewhat temporary in nature. It can't be too permanent. Although there are people that, you can set it up, like if you have certain permanent structures like walls, those can, you can leverage you can use permanent walls as part of it. But that roofing, again, some people set it up in their pergola, and you can do that too if you're putting,
Nice.
the bamboos on top of the pergola. Yeah, some people build pergolas for that purpose, to make it easier to build the sukkah. So it's like, and I'm joking, I have Wi-Fi. I do, because I have Wi-Fi in my apartment, so it extends out to the balcony. But we want to spend as much time in this spiritual vortex as possible. I mean, literally, with understanding the construct, how the physical construct needs to be set up so we can connect to the energy available. We create this little energetic vortex within our realm. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. But you have to have the consciousness. That's the thing. That's what turns the light on in there, is the consciousness. By the way, I have a string of lights I ordered on Amazon. I don't know where they are. They're supposed to be here yesterday. I may be in the dark. Anywho, okay. So the first thing we see is that, it's the 15th day of the month. That's when we have the ability to capture this extra energy. And there's several tools. Like, this is a holiday with really popular tools. The sukkah, and then the 4 species. The lulav with the branches, and the etrog, the little citron. Like, that also gives us the ability to connect to inner light. When we take the lulav, and we take the citron, the etrog, and we connect them with the right consciousness, we're strengthening our inner light for the year. This is all about preparing us for the year to come. This new soul that we received on Rosh Hashanah. We're now fine-tuning it. And so the lulav and etrog, the 4 species, and the citron connect us to our inner light, and the Sukkah connects us to our surrounding light, our potential for the year, where we want to go. And we need a strong inner light to connect to that outer light.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I just wanted to remember when during the pandemic we had to make our own in our house. That was a challenge.
Yeah. listen, it's that life doesn't always give us the most ideal circumstances, and we have to find workarounds, and our consciousness is available to do that. I was talking to my 91-year-old uncle before class today. So I said, do you have a sukkah up? And he's like, yeah, it's up, but we're experiencing the likes of a monsoon right now on the Jersey Shore, and the roof is already blown off.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, he's not climbing up there. I think my cousin's going to fix it for him. Anyhow, so it's the 15th day of the 7th month. We have this holy gathering. We're not doing any work, and we're directed, keep a feast to the Creator for 7 days. So we're going to unpack this further, but what does it mean to keep a feast? What's a feast? The chagotem oto chag lashem. It comes from the word chag. Chag actually shows up twice. Chagotem oto chag lashem. It's like a holiday for you, a holiday for the Creator. Like, this is us connecting with the Creator, with the energy of the Creator, with the energy of the upper realm. And so it's critical that, what is holiday? What is chag? Yes, it's holy day, but it's also like, we have to have happiness. We have to have joy. You can't command that, though. How do you do that? How do you tell someone, get happy? 1979, Elvis Costello was the name of an album. How do you tell someone to get happy? How do you do that?
I would say that we do it more for each other, like you influence the other person and the people in the community. So I would say keeping a feast is being together and eating together, and
the more the merrier, right? I can't get too many in my 4x6 sukkah, but like, the more the merrier. I get it. The more the merrier. It's a way. It's an interesting thing when we're in a crowd. We're on our best behavior, right? Like, we literally, whatever is dogging us at the moment, when we're with other people, we find a way to marginalize that. We find a way to put that aside. What is that? Are we being less than genuine? Or are we being more genuine?
Well, I think we're being more genuine, and there's always one person who's the life of the party. So it starts influencing each other.
Right. So we need to be thinking about all the things that we need to do to enhance this. Like, you can't command joy, but we can do things to position ourselves to be more joyful, being with people, creating appropriate boundaries. I mean, essentially, the Sukkah is a boundary that creates that energy vortex. But being with people we like, being with family, being with friends, being with people who share this consciousness. All those things we do create an environment to connect with more joy and more happiness. And beyond that, like, whatever it is that is stressing us out, it's really taking a step back and saying, I'm not going to think of that now. I was doing a sleep meditation on the app Breathe the middle of the night last night. So I do a different meditation all the time, but this one in particular was one of the things that they tell you when you're meditating, it could be a minute meditation, it could be 5 minutes, it could be whatever, is you want to let go of your thoughts, those distracting thoughts. You want to let go of them. And so when you sleep, it's not like you can just create a blank slate up there in your consciousness. I mean, ideally, but one of the things you need to do is just when thoughts show up, you just let them go. You let them go like they're clouds blowing by in the sky. That's what you do in meditation. And in sleep, you want to do the same thing. Whatever it is that is just distracting you from relaxing, it's just, you just have to let go. I'm not thinking about that now. And so one of the things we can do in setting our consciousness for the holiday to connect more deeply to joy and happiness and appreciation is to fight to keep those thoughts up. Where are those thoughts coming from? Are they my thoughts? I mean, they're in my head. They're not your thoughts. That's Kabbalah 101. They're not your thoughts. They're coming from the other side. This is how the other side messes with us, by bombarding us with negativity. And the minute you identify it as that's not me, the other side moves on. The jig is up. So another way for us to connect to greater joy and happiness is to work hard to control our consciousness. It's like there's two radio stations always playing. This is Michael Moskowitz, My Kabbalah 101, 17 years ago. There's two radio stations always playing. For those, for those who remember what radio is, KAOS, the radio, the sounds of chaos, and WLIT, the light. Your soul, the message you're getting from the soul. Chaos is a lot louder and much more disturbing and much more enticing physically. The light, it's a much quieter sound. The gentle tones of WLIT. Roshan, I saw your hand up.
Michael talked a lot about that last Shabbat, about the two voices. I don't know.
What's most memorable? What's most memorable for you about that?
That it's something constant that we tend to, that I would tend, like you get used to it. I mean, it becomes habitual to be listening to all this garbage or critical thought or thinking that the other person's wrong, or your doctor's wrong, or your psychiatrist's wrong, or your aunt is wrong, whoever, But it's that kind of constant, like, just not accepting what's there. It's like, okay, that's what you see. This is what I see.
Right. Yeah, and people are going to come along and share their negativity. We need a boundary around that. And I'm not saying we should look at the world through rose-colored glasses or adopt a Pollyannish view of the world. No, I'm saying I'm not thinking about that now. I was on the phone with a family member last night and I was sharing something and they cast the negative. I mean, it was a difficult story, but they cast a more negative spin on it. And I said, you know what? I don't want to hear that. Let's not talk about it. That's it. That boundary's up. We have to have the power to do that in a respectful way. We have to be able to do that all the time, but especially over the next 7 days. We want to keep our consciousness in the best frame possible, and we control that.
I have a question about that,
especially this is a really important topic. What's that?
Especially in a healing circle like ours, because we're always healing, helping to heal other people and our friends and our family and so on. And I was having a conversation with somebody whose daughter I listed on the list this morning, who I haven't seen in a while, and asked about her. And he said she's having trouble because of this medical condition she's got. She's having trouble with mobility. And I said, I was about to say, I'll pray for her, but I happen to know this guy is a religious person. And
is or isn't.
So, like, he didn't really give me a chance to finish the sentence, but I think he knew what I was saying. And I'm just assuming he appreciated it.
I'm sure. Listen, I mean, you're right. We always want to be conscious about, especially when we're connecting to the Zohar, but in all the ways that we connect, all the tools that we use, where we are connecting to the flawless universe, where we're connecting to the energy of healing, we want to send energy of healing. And it's not, we can't always verbalize it to the people who would benefit the most. I was actually at Morning Connection this morning. There's a guy that sits behind me and he's having terrible knee pain. Terrible. I don't know, on a 1% level, the guy really looks like he needs knee replacement. And his doctor, brother-in-law told me he needs knee replacement, but he doesn't want to do it. He's trying to heal himself without getting knee replacement, which is great, except he's in pain. I mean, I hear him. So this is a good idea to send him energy of healing. But what I'm saying is, like, you know, we don't control those things, but we do have the ability to remove. It's like when you visit someone who's sick, you are removing 1/60th. This is what our teachers tell us. You're removing 1/60th of their ailment. It's just enough to not catch it yourself.
By the way, I would like to suggest that you do, when you have that opportunity, you do say, I will pray for that person. Because I do it now all over. I don't care who I'm saying it to. I do it on Twitter. I do it on social media, where, you know, whatever comes up. And I would say the reward, and again, you're not doing it to get anything back, but I'm blown away by how much feedback gets back that's really positive, right? So I think people are really need and want the connection. So I offer up that it's one way to help others beyond what you were thinking you were doing, or thinking you were offering.
Right. You know, really just as simple as saying, you know, keeping you, a version of keeping you in my thoughts and prayers. You know, everybody wants that. Nobody doesn't want that. And with the study of the Zohar, even though we're studying a specific topic, it doesn't matter. We're still connecting to that energy of healing. Okay, Ellen, keep going.
On the 15th day, and
That's
you
okay.
shall keep a feast.
Yes.
This is the letters of the letter Vav, which is the central pillar, namely Zeir Anpin.
So what the Zohar is doing, it's deconstructing the word, the sentence, and saying that the 15th itself means a connection to Yud and K, to Chokhmah and Bina. The date is a connection. And that's telling us that this window in time is open. And then the word that says that you should keep a feast, which we want to do, that is Zeir Anpin. That's central column. That's the 6 sfirot of Chesed, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. Okay, keep going.
7 days is from the side of Bathsheba, the daughter of 7, which is Malchut, which is the last K.
So we have the Tetragrammaton, you have the Yud K Vav K, and what the Zohar is telling us is that this verse is connecting to all 4 letters. How quaint. No, yeah, it is connecting to all 4 letters. It's connecting to the superstructure of reality, which includes the flawless universe, which not only includes Binah, the reservoir of fulfillment, but includes Chokhmah, the source to that reservoir. So the level of connection that we're making is an incredibly high level of connection as we feast on these 7 days. So how do we turn this on? With the consciousness, with the feast for 7 days. That's how we do it. Okay, keep going.
The patriarchs, which are Chesed, Gibburah, and Tiferet, and the faithful shepherd, who is Netzach, and Aaron, who is Hod, and David, who is Malchut, and Solomon, who is Yesod, that is called Shalom. Are 7, corresponding to 7 Sifarot.
Okay, so in also a deeper way, these 7 days are connecting to, and what is the 7 sfirot? It's the 6 sfirot of Zeir Anpin and the sfira of Malchut. The 6 sfirot of Zeir Anpin are channels that were opened by, I mean, I guess they're always there, I think, to a certain degree, but they were opened by, in a most significant way, by the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Aaron. Here it's saying Yesod is Solomon, but we also know that Yesod is Joseph. And then the final sphira of Malchut is King David. So when we refer to the patriarch, is this just about like, saying how great these people were, some kind of popularity contest? I'm kind of like, is that what it? No, that's not what it is. They were much more than, they were the people. Yes, they were people, but they were much more than people. Their souls were of such a high level that they opened those sphirot up through being here. They opened those sphirot up for us. So these channels, again, are open to assist us in manifesting all this energy of blessings and healing and protection and fulfillment from the upper realm. And so this is part of that's why the 7 days. Okay, keep going.
I want to construct for you a sukkah, which
Who's saying that? Who's the I? And I want to construct for you a sukkah. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? Because I was out on my balcony last night. He wasn't holding the bamboos up for me. Who's the I? It's the Creator. The Creator is creating this opportunity for us. Where is that sukkah? Well, that's in the hidden realm. Go ahead.
which is supernal Ima, who will provide a shelter over them, over the 7 Sepharot, as a mother over the young.
Okay, so what is our physical sukkah doing? Our physical sukkah is connecting us to this construct of a sukkah, which is supernal Ima, which is Binah. Supernal Abba, father, is Chokhmah. Supernal Ima is Binah. So the sukkah is giving us a direct connection to fulfillment, to the energy of Binah. So what the Zohar is going out of its way to help us understand is the ways in which we need to open up our consciousness so that we can channel all of this light of fulfillment into our world starting tonight for 7 days. That's what's going on. No one's saying we should just accept it on faith. No one's saying that, the Zohar isn't saying how nice it is to commemorate this ancient holiday based on the children of Israel and the huts they lived in when they left Egypt. That's not what the Zohar is saying. That's not what this is about. This always has to have present meaning and purpose for us. If we don't understand the present meaning and purpose, our consciousness is not aligned with the deeper reality. Peter?
I wanted to share really quickly, but a very deep concept, because there's no coincidences. I was listening to TLE this morning, and when you said the Sukkah and the upper realm, one in each, he gave a concept on light and what our purpose is in this world, and it made me understand this in a much better way than I've ever understood it. So just real quickly, just as the Sukkah and the upper realm, we as humans can only connect to Or Hasadim. So the light that we connect to is a lower light. The higher light is coming, that is referred to Or Hokmah. So the point is that when we do this work, what we're really trying to do is to tap into that Or Hokmah. And it's a much more complicated, but I just think it's way different understanding now for me. Whenever we talk about, we do the work below so we can connect above. You're actually connecting to you're creating your direct connection to the true source of the light. And I just thought that really was profound.
Yes, fascinating. Well, it is a true source of the light. Let's not forget there's Keter above that, which there are times when we connect to that. And then there's what's beyond Keter. And so that's the thing, like what's beyond Keter? Exactly. We don't know. It's the Ein Sof. It's infinity. It's what's that? Some mathematical concept? It's what is beyond human comprehension. So there's what's within human comprehension, and then there's what's outside of human comprehension. Well, what is that? Can't tell you. It's beyond human comprehension. It's just beyond. So Peter raises such an important point because there are things that we do have the ability to comprehend. And so why are we studying? To just accumulate knowledge? No. You can do that if you want, but that's not what this is about. This is about understanding how the supernal HVAC system works in reality. Again, like if I want to make it cooler, I gotta walk over the thermostat and turn the AC on. Well, what if I want to make it more blessed in this world? Where's the thermostat for that? It's the tools that we have, and we turn it on with our consciousness. It's wireless. It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate in wireless technology. Okay, everybody, we're out of time. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Chag
Shabbat shalom.
Sameach.
Chag Sameach,
Love
everyone.
you all.
Chag
See you all soon.
Sameach.
Thank you.
Thank
Chag
you.
Sameach.
Love
Right.
to everybody.